Time now for the morning rush. A New Mexico soldier is being exhumed in a case of mistaken identity. Private First Class Juan Gutierrez was a prisoner of war killed during World War II. The military thought they buried his remains at the Santa Fe National Cemetery in 1950. Those were later found in the Philippines. He will now be reburied with full military honors. Erica.
After some gloomy days these past couple of days, we're finally improving the weather. As the cold front pushes off to the south, it'll keep the clouds and the showers down there. High pressure moves overhead. It's keeping us dry and sunny, plus much more mild over these next couple of days. So it's going to be a beautiful Friday and weekend.
Crime crackdown today. 40 state police officers will be in Belen to help crack down on crime. The 2-week-long operation will add the extra police presence to Belen at a time when the city is dealing with an officer shortage. Police say the extra officers are helping to curb property crimes like burglary and larceny and help with warrants.
Efforts to revive a fire department in a small New Mexico town continue. Last month, the Springer fire chief resigned after an inspection found 25 problems with the department. Now, the fire department's current rating with the Insurance Service Office is a 10. That's the worst you can score. The state fire marshal's office says it will likely visit the town later this month to see if any change has been made.
This morning, an Espanola woman is waiting to be sentenced after being found guilty of falsifying election ballots. Laura Seeds was convicted on voter fraud for submitting absentee ballots that did not belong to her during 2016 to get her husband elected to city council. Her sentencing phase is next month.
The feds are looking at the case against a man accused of firing at Bernalillo County deputies. Back in September, BCSO served a search warrant on Kenneth Sondergaard. This is on evidence that he was trafficking meth. That's when authorities say that he opened fire, wounding 2 deputies. Investigators say they found AK-style rifles and stockpiles of ammo in his home.
Today, New Mexico officials are set to meet to address missing and murdered Native American women. The governor's office and the state's Indian Affairs Department will host the meeting, which will be the first meeting for the Indigenous Women Task Force. Today's public meeting will be held at the boardroom on CNM's main campus at noon.
The state's higher education department is asking for more money. The New Mexican reports that the State Department wants roughly $80 million more for its annual budget. That's a 9% increase from what they are currently getting. Now, the department says the money will be used for much needed improvements in the effort to recover the higher education program.
This morning, Taos election officials will likely meet up again as they try to figure out what to do about a ballot mix-up. The property tax increase proposal, which would have paid for the reopening of a northern New Mexico college, did not appear on the ballot in 2 areas of the county. State officials say it was a county clerk error. Erica.
Look at the Metro Threat Index. We do have some patchy fog out there this morning, but not really impacting the metro area too bad. But later on today, we're going to be mild temperatures in the low 60s and dry and sunny. A gorgeous day ahead of us, so no big worries there.
Zookeepers at the biopark are remaining quiet about an incident between a staff member and a hyena. The city won't say what happened, only confirming that it happened yesterday morning before the zoo opened. The city says the hyena was inside the enclosure the whole time and was not harmed. They also add that the visitor hours were not impacted.
This morning, detectives are investigating why a car came crashing into a Las Cruces home, missing a teen girl by inches. 16-year-old Violet Tarango was getting ready for school last week when she heard the crash. The damage to the home is extensive. No word on any charges just yet.
Next week, drivers beware along 12th Street north of I-40. The intersection at Manal will be closed starting Monday. The closure is part of the water line relocation along Manal from 4th Street to the traffic circle merger with Indian School. The water department says the intersection will stay shut down through January.
New at 6, Sears and Kmart will be closing more stores starting next month. In total, 51 Sears stores and 45 Kmart stores will shut their doors. After the closings, only about 180 stores will remain in the U.S. In the past 15 years, the 2 companies have cut roughly 250,000 jobs and closed more than 3,000 stores.
Looking ahead, a state committee will discuss building a permanent home for New Mexico United. The State House Economic Development Committee is considering funding a 15,000-seat soccer-specific stadium for the team. The team currently plays at Isotopes Park. State leaders would use oil and gas revenues to pay for it. They plan to meet next Thursday.
Next week, a nonprofit will ask county lawmakers to rename part of a major Albuquerque street after a civil rights icon. The group Las Mujeres wants to rename Bridge Boulevard from Isleta to 4th Street Dolores Huerta. Huerta co-founded United Farm Workers with Cesar Chavez. The group says thousands signed a petition in support. Erica.
Now let's get a look at the morning drive. There are just some slowdowns if you're headed east of I-40 near the Big I. Everything else is clear right now. And here's a look from Tracker going north on Wyoming near I-40. Not a lot of cars out there and no problems with that fog. David?
This morning, we are giving you a behind-the-scenes look at Disney's live action of Lady and the Tramp. The star of the movie is former Las Cruces shelter dog Monty. Took 4 months of training to get Monty ready for his movie debut, but there it is. Monty's co-star, Rose the Cocker Spaniel, was rescued from Utah. The movie is set to premiere next Tuesday on Disney+.
A star in the making.
Yep, making it out of the streets and onto the big screen.